didn't do anything. I don't know. A woman. That woman. It's not my fault. I was supposed to drive a shipment to a nearby town. Damn it, they forced me to do it. Why the hell would someone be sleeping in the middle of a mountain road at midnight anyway? It's not my fault. It's not my fault. I turned a corner and she was lying on the bridge. I slammed on the brakes.
She was sleeping on the bridge? This seems a little odd. If this man was telling the truth, then the victim had already collapsed there from the start. It doesn't seem like he was lying, but what in the world does this mean?
It's not my fault. It's not my fault. I turned a corner and she was lying on the bridge. I slammed on the brakes, but it wasn't fast enough, and I ran her over. I got out of the truck to see, and she wasn't breathing. I panicked and I threw her off the bridge.
He threw the victim's body over the bridge. This means that the victim wasn't knocked off the bridge by being struck by a vehicle. Yes, both these facts relate to the victim. If I were to sum up the driver's account prior to the accident, the victim was... Right. The victim had already been collapsed on the road, and after he ran her over, the driver... Yes, he threw the victim over the bridge. Little guy, what's the FBI's opinion about this?
He's already admitted to killing her. Why would he lie about that?
Indeed. His account coincides with the evidence I had found as well.
What evidence?
Well, if she had been standing when she was hit by the truck, the fractures to her bones would have indicated a strong impact from one certain direction. In this case, nothing of that sort was observed.
I see. What about the shattered skull, then?
The skull fractures are consistent with a strong impact to the top of the head. It would be unnatural for it to have been due to a car accident. Considering what happened to the victim, it can be deduced that something else caused that fracture. That is... Yes, if she was unconscious when she fell from the bridge, the fracture due to an impact to the top of the skull is understandable.
I see. You're right, that does make more sense.
Yes. However, that raises questions about the victim herself. Why in the world was this woman so far from home? And why would she be lying in the middle of a bridge in the mountains at that time of night?
That's a valid point. I guess there are still some mysteries left unsolved here.
Indeed. We'll have to continue investigating in more detail.
Oh, Dr. Kimishima, we were able to look into the parents' injuries.
Good job. What did you find?
Yes, there were records that the parents had been going to a hospital, like you said. Let's see, it looks like they'd started being frequent visitors to the hospital 2 months ago.
How many times is frequent?
Oh, we didn't check every detail, but it was several times, ending about a month ago. The hospital staff seemed worried, since many of the injuries seemed to be signs of abuse.
Did they tell the doctors who had been physically assaulting them?
No, they didn't. However, some of their injuries were quite severe. The mother seemed to have suffered some visual impediments due to a wound on her eye.
I see. Further investigation is required to determine who had been abusing them. The victim's femurs were fractured in the accident with the truck. Her skull was shattered when her body was dropped from the bridge. We've confirmed that both those injuries occurred after death. From those facts, it's clear that when the victim was on the bridge, Yes. Even if she hadn't been run over by the truck, she was already dead. That means that the driver was telling the truth in his interrogation.
Then does that mean that she was kidnapped from her room, murdered, and then had her corpse dumped on that bridge?
I don't know that just yet. We'll need to investigate a little more.